Okay, I want to talk to you. Let's talk a little bit more about tools, but specifically like scales, measuring. I want to give you some tips. Two types of scales that I want you to get yourself organized. First is a food scale. This is just a digital food scale. You can get any kind that you like, go right on Amazon. And sometimes people get a little, I don't know, worked up, like, oh, I got to start measuring my food. The reason that we're going to measure our food, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but uh, when we start getting really exact, something else you'll hear me say often, nothing becomes really dynamic until it becomes really specific. So you're tracking right now, 7 days of tracking. And with that tracking, we're going to average things out after 7 days, your calories, your protein, your fat, your carbs, what are your grams? And then you're going to need to adjust it when we go into the cleanse phase of it. You're going to need a scale. This is going to help you in a couple different ways. The scale is going to help you realize what a true food portion size is. But then this is going to set you up for success down the road, right? Because right now, honestly, I can look at food and I say that's 200 grams, 300 grams piece of chicken. And it's because I've been weighing and measuring my food when I'm at home for so long. When I'm out, well, it makes things easier. So when I'm at a cookout or I'm at a restaurant, whatever, I don't get all messed up like, oh, I don't know what I ate because I know what portion size look like. And in order for you to get the results that you're looking to achieve, we're going to learn some new things right now. Eventually, okay, maybe you won't measure, but right now to get the results, to balance your hormones, reduce the inflammation, all the things, we're going to need to get a little exact. Okay, so that's one thing I'm going to suggest that you get. And then the next thing, if you don't already have a scale, get a bioelectric impedance scale. This measures your body fat. We have, I think it's called Eros, and it's a digital scale. It does your body fat. And in a lot of these scales now, where you download an app with it, so then it'll go right to your phone. I like it and don't like it because I have to be in my app in order to get my body fat percentage. But it does what, like if I just want to do my weight and get on it, it'll show me my weight. But if I want all the other numbers, I always have to have my app on. And that's just the personal thing. But you can do any type of bioelectrical impedance scale, but I highly recommend that you get one. Next, make sure that you have a flexible measuring tape. You can get these at the fabric store. You can go on Amazon and type in flexible measuring tape because these are the main tools. We already talked about downloading the Lose It app to start tracking your food. Excuse me. But again, once we have our app, you won't have to download a bunch of different things. Okay, now those are the tools that I wanted to talk about when it comes to measuring. But now let's talk about measuring in general. Okay. First thing is that you're not going to measure every day. And as we start going through the system, one of the things that you're going to learn is that the weight on the scale is the smallest and the least important data point. And to right now, it might be really big data point to you. And I understand it's because that's the way we've been taught, but it's so small. The scale doesn't reflect the important things. See, as you start to go through the system, like when you start to go through the cleanse phase, well, measure yourself once a week at the most, but we're going to recommend every 4 weeks because that's what it takes to really see a shift in weight. And understand when we're talking about weight, our goal is for you to maintain lean muscle mass and drop body fat. That's why a bioelectrical impedance scale is important, but that's still not completely exact. Why? Because it's you might be buying $100 scale. To really have a scale that shows you true body fat, lean body mass, we're talking about thousands of dollars. So we're not doing that, but it still gives you a good idea of where you are. but the scale will not reflect your actions. What do I mean by that? As you start going through the system, maintaining lean muscle mass, dropping body fat, now you're strength training, you're increasing muscle. What happens is you start dropping body fat, muscle starts to go up. So you're not seeing any movement in weight, but body composition is changing. See, the scale will never tell you, hey, Janet, hey, Teresa, hey, Sally, the weight you dropped was body fat, or the weight you dropped was water weight, or the weight you gained was sodium based because you ate pizza last night, or you didn't have a bowel movement in the last 2 days, which that's not going to be good if that happened. But it doesn't tell you because your weight fluctuates from moment to moment, hour to hour. And it's based on your hydration level. It's based on your hormones fluctuating. It's based on whether you had a bowel movement or not. Have you had any fluid? Have you eaten anything? It's all based that. And like, even if you've worked out, like, it's going to influence the scale. So don't get really, the reason I'm sharing all this with you is like not to get really caught up in the scale and the weight on the scale. Measure yourself at the most once a week. Now, in the beginning, we're doing measure, monitoring, adjusting. So what does that mean? You're going to do it right now, but then when we start with the cleanse phase, right, when we do the hormone reset cleanse, you're going to measure yourself again. And in 7 days, measure yourself again. And then in 7 days, measure yourself again. But then after that, it's every 4 weeks. And you're like, wait a minute, what? Don't worry, we'll keep you on track when it comes to the measuring. But don't get caught up. Again, don't get caught up in that scale. The number on the scale is the smallest data point. And the reason that I share that with you, because, your best body assessment is really the most important. Number one, inches around the waist determines your health factor. How your clothes fit, how you're sleeping, your strength levels, your energy levels, your hair, your skin, your nails, do you have dark circles on your eyes? Did they go away? Like all of this all of these are data points that are more important than the number on the scale. Okay. Now that I said that, let's talk about measuring in general. When you do your measurements, I'm going to recommend that you do them at the same time and the same day. Like if you're choosing doing once a week, and again, only in the beginning is that okay. After that, you really don't need to be doing it only every 4 weeks. But wear the same clothes and do it the same day and the same time of the day. See, when it comes to like your body fat and your weight, your lightest in the morning and your body fat will be the highest in the morning. And then your heaviest at night and your body fat will be lower at night. It's the fluctuation thing, and that's what the scale is probably going to reflect. But wear the same clothes always. When you take your photos, you're going to do before photos. And people are like, I don't want to do photos. You do photos. Doesn't mean that you have to share them with anyone, but it's for you for every 4 weeks. Even take a picture of your face so you could see the transition, because you're going to see yourself every day. And sometimes it's hard to notice, really see the changes, and unless you're taking the photos, and really it's usually over a 90-day time frame where you personally, like other people will see the changes before you see them. That's why photos are really important. So every 4 weeks, but wear the same clothes, wear form-fitting clothes, wear solid clothes when you're doing it. I suggest a sports bra and like workout shorts. You don't have to be in a bikini. And we give you instructions exactly how to take those photos, front, side, back type of thing. It's in your checklist for this month. So make sure that you're wearing the same thing, same time of the day, same day of the week when you're doing measurements. Next, when it comes to your measurements or your photos, make sure when you take that photo, like I said, okay, you're doing a photo here, and then you're doing a side photo. Get somebody to help you. If you don't have somebody to help you, then doing a selfie in the mirror It's fine. Because it really is for you, and then take a picture of your face, okay? So you could see, you're gonna be like, oh my God, how big was my head? It's a joke. And I'll share that video comedian with you. Okay. Um, but when you take a photo, okay, all right, maybe you're doing it in the bathroom because you're doing a selfie. Make sure that you get all the clutter out of the way, right? Behind me, I have stuff, but it's not clutter. But for me taking a photo, I'm not going to want to take a photo with all of this stuff behind it. It doesn't matter if it's a purple wall, blue wall, green wall, a white wall, just have a plain wall. And again, if you're doing it in your bathroom, then make sure whatever's behind you that's going to be reflection in the mirror, that you have that cleaned out. Okay? Those are my suggestions there. That's your measurements, understanding your scales, your measurements, your photos, and we'll leave it at that. There you have it. Okay? Get it? Got it? Good. See you on the next round.